I'm Mike Coyle, and you're watching Insidexploration. Today I'm here with Marcel Robillard, who is the Chairman, President, and CEO of Puma Explorations. Thanks for joining me today, Marcel.
Thank you very much for the invite, Mike. I really appreciate the time.
Well, I've been looking forward to talking to you because I recently did a little write-up on the Triple Fault Gold Project, and I took a lot of interest in it, actually. You've hit some really nice showings over the last couple of years, so why don't you just start off the interview by giving everybody a well-rounded overview of your projects.
Yes, thank you very much. Puma Exploration have been active in the Bathurst mining camp, which is located in northern New Brunswick for about 15 years now. The focus of the company in the past was mainly on base metal like copper and zinc and lead, because the Bathurst camp used to be a famous camp and holds the biggest zinc underground mine for years. So we've been working on that area, and lately we've been a bit transferred the focus from the base metal on the gold side of the story. Almost really little exploration were done for gold exploration in the Bathurst camp, as was famous for base metal. So since a year about, we have collect and put all together the piece to a major land package in northern New Brunswick. We did some deals with prospector, we did some claim staking, and it was all based on the the Maritime Atlantic Canada new gold district. So that's a little bit the reason why. We knew there were some gold there, but not as much as we found. So basically the strategy was to collect all those, play together, make a huge land package. We hold it 100% with really like not expensive option, and we have started only working really on the site since July last year. So since last year, we've had about 6 months of real exploration on site, so from July to December, and that's exactly when and how we found the major high-grade gold, mineralization that we call it now the O'Neill Gold Trend. So 6 months of exploration, trenching, stripping, and really have the boots on ground and be the real job of a geologist to find new gold showing. And it's funny because I don't know a really good place in the world that almost nothing has been done, and the first work was done only in 2008. So this is the brand new site ready for brand new discovery. So that's what is more exciting for us. And as we found all those big gold showing, now we've done everything to really define and find more. So basically the field work done was to initiate a major BTM survey over the entire land package. We've done some trenching, and now since the last 2 weeks only, we have 3 teams on site to find more and increase the gold mineralization found last year.
So you have a really aggressive exploration campaign plan for this year. I noticed you're going to strip out an area 200 meters by 600 meters, and that's all along the O'Neill Gold Trend showing, correct? So that encompasses Pepitose and Chubby, Moose, Lynx, and the O'Neill, or is it just a segment of those?
No, it's going to be the entire, what we found is over 600 meters. And basically what we have now and what we are currently doing is the wood cutting, because that's right in the middle of the wood, really close from the paved road. So, it's not even like 200 meters from the paved road, but where we want to strip is really, an area. And I would correct you, it's going to be 400 meters by 600 meters, because now we have found more like a parallel structure. So we don't want to go back. So we have now a consultant company that they cut the wood and take it out. We have some big machine. Never did some in the past. No, we use like real truck and big truck, and not like a guy with a chainsaw. It's not the size of that. It's like major working. First step is to cut the wood. Half of it is done, and then we're going to strip the area, but we won't strip for sure the entire zone. What we're going to do is to start from the main showing itself and increase the zone from one to the other. But each zone so far found are about 200 meters step out between. It's not because we have not found anything, just because the trench done last year was done perpendicular to a rhyolite, which is the host rock, the contact from the rhyolite and the sediment. That's where we find gold. So we did some trenching perpendicular to that, and define that 600 meters. And lucky as we were, because the exploration is a part of luck as well. So hard work and a bit of luck. So we found like gold showing in some very, very high grade zone over 600 meters. So yes, it's going to be done over the entire. So the three teams, one team is really dedicated to find and define more gold in that area. We call it the definition work program. But also, when we did the VTEM survey, we have defined the same target. We have a real like cut like with a knife, contact with the high mag and low mag, and all the mineralization is along that line. So we have followed that zone for 3 kilometers south and 3 kilometers north of the 1 kilometer. So the other team, what we call it this discovery phase. And the discovery phase, they're going to go on the 3 kilometers south and the 3 kilometers north. And we're going to do the same kind of trenching first to define where is the rhyolite, if there's so. And when we're going to find it, hopefully we're going to have gold in it. And the third team is doing what we call it like the grassroots exploration, because it's a huge land package over like almost 30,000 hectares. The third team, call it the flying team. So they're going to go kind of almost everywhere over the property, and they're going to do some trenching, prospecting, and try to find again the next one. So always having a drill ready target and some other area to bring the work to the the definition drilling or something. And you won't believe it, we have 60 targets to trench. So the backhoe is there since 2 weeks ago, and he's going to do trenching over the entire summer, 60 target to trench. And during the same time, drilling at O'Neill Gold Trend, going to start pretty soon, before the end of June. We have money in the treasury. We're excited. It's a great timing for Puma right now.
Now, do you have any additional geophysics planned? I know you did the VTEM survey. Do you plan on implementing anything else like IP surveys into this program?
To be honest, we don't know, because right now, the survey was done at every 100 meter space line. So, we were thinking about maybe doing an IP on ground, but having like a line every 100 meters, the survey is not too much accurate. And because the beauty of New Brunswick is the very little and thin overburden. So sometimes it's just cheaper to do a stripping, trenching over like a wood cutting road just on the ditch, and you have your answer. So survey is good, but having the real rock is better. So far, no. But what we have requested, because it's a so much detail and up-to-date survey, we're doing some 3D inversion, doing some data analysis from the survey from an external, consultant. As we speak, we have a specialist, Terran. I don't know if you know Terran, in Eastern Canada, and they do some structural study analysis of all what we have. So we're having access to specialists. We're not a big head and think that we're the best and everything. We have our own like task and objective, and we really like to ask other people to help us to define the model. But as I said, the best thing is the thin overburden, because last year we've done more than 4,000 meters, so almost 4 kilometers of trenching. It's right at surface, permitting is easy, and this is the best way to find gold mineralization.
Now, you say that, but at the same token, you're no stranger to technology. I mean, you applied Windfall Geotech's card system, and in a base metal camp where you're finding high-grade gold all of a sudden in the last couple of years, you've also found a copper showing. Can you talk to us a little bit about the implementation of Windfall Geotech and the success of that program?
Yes, we know Windfall Geotech for years and years. We have been talking with Michel Fontaine, and we applied that cards targeting system over almost all the copper play that we had. And the first time we used it was at Turgeon copper play, which is northern New Brunswick, and that helped us to find what we call it the burn zone of the Turgeon South. So great copper assays, mainly in trenching. We have not drilled it yet, but yes. And then what we've done, since then we have applied the card system on the other target for copper, and the last one uses the Chester. So Chester, we have some drill target, we have drilled it, and the news will come a little bit later on. But as Puma will really be focusing on the gold play, the plan for Puma is to monetize the copper asset. As I said, Puma was only copper about like in 10 years ago. Since the last 2 years, we have switched from copper to gold, and we will just keep going on gold because it's so exciting and it's so high grade gold. So we're going to keep doing that. But to give back a little bit to our shareholder that they have support us for years, so we are trying to do something to monetize the copper asset. A GV option, a spin-off, everything is on the table, and the investor will know sooner than later the end game of that, and they will understand that copper, we want to be part of the story, but we're going to be really focusing on the gold side.
Well, to my surprise, that's what actually brought my attention to your company was the copper targets and the soil sampling that you did, and I was really taken by that. I thought it was impressive. And then the more you dig in and you start to look at the triple fault gold, particularly Williams Brook and this new 7-kilometer trend, it gets even more exciting. The plot thickens. But you've also got a few other properties that are not necessarily contiguous to the Williams Brook property in Jonpol and Portage properties. Can you talk to us a little bit about those? What are your plans for those?
Yes, what we've done is when we collected the triple fault play, first was to select the Williams Brook, but at the same time, when we did the research and we talking with the local prospector, the Portage and also the Jonpol gold property came to my attention. And at the time, you know, the gold fever in the Atlantic and Maritime was not as hot it is right now. So we could get pretty good deals to option those property for shares at the time. And so now we have 100% of those. So if we're talking about Portage, it's just a little bit 2 kilometers north of the Restigouche mine, VMS, used to be mined by Trevally. And this is like a large porphyry system. So far, that porphyry at the beginning, we thought it was a gold copper porphyry system, so maybe a large tonnage, lower grade. And then when we did a little bit of trenching last year, 2 years ago, was mainly cobalt, nickel, and copper, a little bit of gold. So this is kind of a strange, you know, animal to have that. So it's not the same models that we have at Williams Brook. The thing is, there's so many faults and intrusive complex. So that, you know, one of the target, it would be something like energy metal, copper, nickel, cobalt stuff. The other one, Jonpol, is purely gold. And so far, what we know from the Jonpol is grab sample, work a little bit in the 80, 86 by Noranda, and they have like a felsic intrusive and intermediate intrusive containing gold. So what we did, when we come and went from doing the VTEM over the entire Williams Brook, so that's there to save some money on the mob and demob. So we decide to fly also the Portage and the Jonpol. So because really the highlight was the Williams Brook, we don't have yet the final data. So basically what we want to do is to interpret the data from both, which are not the same models, like a porphyry compared to gold. And once we're going to have the target, we will try to match previous gold anomaly and showing with some kind of signature. So it's too early now. We don't have the final data to match those. So once it's going to be done, when I said the flying team, like the one to prospecting, they're going to go there. But I would say 90% of the budget this year will be spent on Williams Brook. And those are great assets to have a huge land package, but we don't know yet exactly. You know, the Portage, we might think about do a GV on it because that's not gold itself. For sure, Jonpol are great, but doing the VTEM survey, going to be able to keep those property for at least the next 3 years as work credit. So now it won't be a matter of doing the work to keep the claim, but it's more to really have something better. So, you know, brand new stuff found, but little. So probably a little bit of prospecting, trenching, nothing more than that with our flying team.
Well, with the great success that you had with Windfall Geotech and identifying the copper, is that something that you would be looking to maybe utilize throughout the rest of the Triple Fault Gold property for gold instead of copper this time?
Yes. That's something to consider. And also, Michel, he's on the board of Puma, so that's for sure. We're all working together and find new tools. And as I said, I'm really keen on get all the new technology for sure. It's help us to confirm some other target, and sometimes it's bring us some idea that we have not think about it. But the first step is to finalize and have the final data on the entire Williams Brook. Hopefully, the consultant told us we're going to have those in March, and we don't. So that's the time frame now. So once we're going to have those data, we'll see, what we can do with.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate the update from you, Marcel. It's been a treat. The last thing I'd say then is to kind of give a shout out to shareholders as to why they should invest in Puma Explorations.
There's many reasons, but one of the great one is if you want to be part of a story from the beginning. If you look the other company around that they've been working in the Maritime for gold exploration, if we're talking about Newfound Gold, if we're talking about Marathon, Galway, then it's the best place to invest, to be part of a major story, great gold discovery, and be really successful altogether. So, first mover in the area, we have a land package, district scale package, first mover in the Bathurst, been there for 15 years. So as I said, I have many reasons. So I invite the people that they want to know more just to call me, and I'm talking a lot. So I have more than time to speak, and I'm happy to share the great story.
Well, thanks again, Marcel. I appreciate your time, and we'll do this again really soon.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome to come, man. Anytime.
I'm going to be there this summer, and I can't wait to see the property, especially once you've got everything pulled back. That'll really help enlighten viewers with some good footage. So
great. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you again.
You too. Take care, Marcel.
Thank you.